What if I told you that the vitamins you take each morning might actually be slowly harming your body? According to the Journal of Medical Aging, older adults who take the wrong supplements face up to a 40% higher chance of early death. This isn't clickbait. It's grounded in clinical research. One of these vitamins has been linked to shrinking brain volume. Another is associated with a heightened risk of stroke, nerve issues, and even heart failure. And chances are, you're taking it regularly. Once you're past 65, your liver becomes less efficient, your kidneys don't flush out excess substances as well, and your nerves are more vulnerable. Yet certain vitamins keep accumulating in your system, damaging cells in a way that many people mistake for typical aging. But the truth is, it's not always age. It can be prevented. In this video, we'll reveal 4 vitamins you should stop using after 65, and 4 essential ones your body truly needs. Stick around until the very end, because vitamin number 1 has been tied to a 36% lower risk of death from all causes, according to a major study out of Europe. Before we dive in, let us know in the comments where you're watching from. Let's start with the harmful ones, beginning with a vitamin that sounds innocent but can do real harm over time in older adults. Vitamin A has a good reputation. It's known for helping with eyesight, immune function, and skin health. But for people over 65, especially those taking multivitamins or liver-based products, too much vitamin A, particularly in its retinol form, can quietly accumulate and become toxic. Here's what many don't know. Vitamin A is fat-soluble, meaning your body stores it in the liver and fat cells rather than flushing it out like some other vitamins. As we age, liver function slows down and body fat distribution changes, meaning that retinol from supplements can start to pile up instead of being eliminated. This gradual buildup can lead to subtle signs of toxicity, like dry skin, dizziness, blurred vision, and joint discomfort. It often gets mistaken for normal aging, but it might actually be long-term vitamin overload, especially if you're consuming more than 2,000 to 3,000 micrograms daily from supplements. It doesn't stop there. A 2022 study published in the European Journal of Clinical Nutrition linked excess vitamin A in older adults to a 25% increase in atrial fibrillation, a heart rhythm disorder that significantly raises stroke risk after age 65. If you're still taking a supplement that contains retinol or retinol palmitate after 65, you may want to rethink that. Yes, your body needs vitamin A, just not in this concentrated form. You'll get a safer version from natural foods like carrots, spinach, sweet potatoes, and eggs. These contain beta-carotene, a plant-based form your body only converts to vitamin A as needed, which makes it much harder to overdose. Check your supplement label. Anything over 700 micrograms per day for women or 900 for men could pose long-term risks. The smarter option? Skip the synthetic version and focus on real food sources. Iron is essential. But for seniors, iron supplements can quietly become a serious, hidden danger. If you're over 65 and still taking iron just in case, it might be doing more harm than good. Most people associate iron with energy. It's commonly prescribed for anemia and often added to multivitamins marketed to older adults, claiming to fight tiredness or brittle nails. But here's the side most never hear. After 65, your body doesn't lose iron the way it once did. And that excess doesn't vanish. It builds up. Unlike water-soluble nutrients that are flushed out, iron is stored, mostly in your liver, heart, and pancreas. Over time, too much of it causes oxidative stress, a process where unstable molecules attack your cells, inflame tissue, and quietly accelerate aging from the inside out. It also leads to the creation of harmful substances called lipid peroxides, which have been linked to Alzheimer's, cancer, and cardiovascular disease. The real kicker? Most seniors don't need extra iron at all. Men stop losing iron after puberty. Women stop after menopause, unless there's been significant blood loss from surgery, ulcers, or chronic illness. You're probably already getting enough from your meals. Foods like meat, beans, Leafy greens and fortified cereals naturally contain iron. Add a supplement on top and you're tipping the balance into dangerous territory. Iron overload symptoms are easy to miss: joint aches, fatigue, forgetfulness, even heart palpitations. It's often brushed off as regular aging, but behind the scenes, excess iron may be slowly damaging your brain, liver, and cardiovascular system. And here's the worst part. Unlike low iron, which can be fixed quickly with supplements, high iron takes time to bring down. In many cases, the damage is already underway before anyone catches it. If you're taking a multivitamin that contains iron, stop and get tested. Ask your doctor for a serum ferritin test and transferrin saturation check. These will show whether your iron stores are too high. And if they are, it's time to cut back on red meat and eliminate all iron supplements immediately. Look instead for multivitamins labeled iron-free, especially those designed for seniors. Iron is vital when you're young, but after 65, it can be like gasoline on a fire your aging organs aren't equipped to fight. And now we come to one that's even more common. It's taken daily by well-meaning seniors everywhere, and yet could be slowly weakening your bones, stiffening your arteries, and throwing your mineral balance off without you even knowing it. Calcium has long been seen as the go-to supplement for bone strength. It's in almost every senior multivitamin, every brochure at the doctor's office, and just about every product claiming to support healthy aging. But here's what most people over 65 aren't being told. Taking calcium alone, especially in supplement form, could actually raise your risk of serious health issues. Yes, calcium is essential, but where it ends up in your body is more important than how much you take. When you're younger, your bones absorb calcium effectively thanks to helpful hormones and active growth factors. But past 65, that process slows down. Your bones stop absorbing efficiently. And the excess calcium? It doesn't get used. It drifts into your soft tissues, joints, and most dangerously, into your arteries. Instead of protecting you from fractures, that daily calcium supplement might actually be increasing your chances of a heart attack or stroke. It's not fear-mongering. It's well documented in clinical research. On top of that, calcium pills can upset digestion, cause bloating and constipation, and interfere with your body's ability to absorb other critical minerals like iron and zinc. If you're also taking antacids or acid-reducing medications, which many seniors do, you're even less likely to absorb the calcium you're taking. The end result? More digestive issues, less benefit for your bones, and increased risk to your heart. So what's the safer, smarter approach? Get calcium from your food. Leafy greens like kale and bok choy, sardines with bones, almonds, chia seeds, and dairy like yogurt offer calcium in a form your body recognizes and uses efficiently. And if supplementation is still necessary, make sure it includes vitamin D3 and vitamin K2. These help direct calcium into your bones where it belongs and away from your arteries where it doesn't. If your current multivitamin includes 500 to 1,000 milligrams of calcium, and you're already eating a calcium-rich diet, it may be time to rethink. Your body doesn't just need calcium. It needs a whole system of balance, movement, and direction. Your bones need strength, but your heart needs protection too. And too much calcium in the wrong place can undo both. Coming up next is the most dangerous one on the list, and it's probably the one you never suspected. It's frequently recommended to seniors, found in energy boosters and nerve supplements, and can quietly damage your nerves and muscles over time. Vitamin B6 is often marketed as harmless, something you take for energy, better nerves, or to help with brain fog. It's in countless multivitamins. Doctors recommend it. But for people over 65, high doses of B6 can quietly do serious damage. It surprises most people. After all, B6 is a water-soluble vitamin, so your body should just flush out the extra, right? Not exactly. B6 behaves differently. When taken in large amounts from supplements, it accumulates in nerve tissue. And when that happens, it can become toxic. That toxicity shows up in very subtle ways: tingling hands, numbness, burning feet, poor balance, even muscle weakness. Many seniors experiencing these symptoms are misdiagnosed with diabetic nerve damage or simply told it's aging. But the real problem might be high-dose vitamin B6. The recommended upper limit for B6 is 100 milligrams per day, but research shows that even consistent daily doses of just 50 milligrams can lead to nerve damage in older adults over time. And the scary part? Many brain support or nerve health supplements contain 100 to 250% of the daily limit in just one dose. Combine that with a multivitamin and fortified foods, and suddenly you're overloading your system without even knowing it. Once B6-induced nerve damage starts, recovery is very slow and sometimes incomplete. This risk is even higher for seniors with existing issues like diabetes, thyroid imbalance, or other conditions that already stress the nervous system. So what should you do? You still need B6, just not in high amounts. The recommended daily intake is only 1.5 milligrams for women and 1.7 for men, and you can easily meet that through food. Bananas, chickpeas, tuna, turkey, and fortified cereal are excellent sources. Unless a blood test confirms a deficiency, there is no need to take high doses. If your multivitamin or nerve formula contains more than 5 to 10 milligrams of B6 per serving, it's worth reconsidering. You can also ask your doctor to test your B6 levels if you've been taking supplements and are experiencing unusual nerve symptoms. When it comes to B6, more is definitely not better. After 65, more can mean permanent damage, and that wraps up the 4 vitamins seniors should be extremely cautious about. Now let's switch gears and talk about the 4 vitamins you should be taking after 65, starting with number 4, a nutrient that supports over 300 functions in your body and is quietly missing in the diets of millions of older adults: magnesium. It's one of the most overlooked, yet most critical nutrients for aging adults. And by the time you're over 65, there's a strong chance your body is already running low on it. Why? As we get older, our ability to absorb magnesium decreases. On top of that, many medications commonly prescribed to seniors, things like diuretics, antacids, and blood pressure drugs, cause your body to lose magnesium even faster. The symptoms sneak in slowly: fatigue, muscle cramps, trouble sleeping, anxiety, even irregular heartbeat. And because these issues develop gradually, they're often chalked up to aging. But in many cases, a simple magnesium deficiency is to blame. When magnesium levels are restored, many seniors report better sleep, fewer cramps, steadier balance, and even clearer thinking. That's no surprise. Magnesium is involved in more than 300 enzymatic processes in the body. It regulates blood pressure, supports nerve and muscle function, helps balance blood sugar, and keeps your heart beating regularly. Low magnesium has also been directly linked to higher risks of type 2 diabetes, cognitive decline, and atrial fibrillation. But here's the catch: not all magnesium supplements are created equal. Many common forms, like magnesium oxide, are poorly absorbed and can cause stomach upset. If you're supplementing, look for more bioavailable types like magnesium glycinate, citrate, or malate. These are easier on the digestive system and far better absorbed, especially important for aging bodies. The ideal dose for seniors typically falls between 250 and 400 milligrams per day, depending on your diet and health needs. And while you can boost your intake through food, leafy greens, avocado, almonds, pumpkin seeds, black beans, soil depletion has made it harder to get enough from diet alone. That's why for many seniors, supplementation is no longer optional. It's necessary. Magnesium might not be as flashy as some other nutrients, but for anyone over 65, it's foundational. Without it, everything else in your body has to work harder. Up next is vitamin number 3, a powerhouse nutrient that acts more like a hormone than a vitamin. It helps your immune system, protects against chronic disease, and supports brain health. And after 65, your ability to produce it naturally drops by more than 50%. Vitamin D3. It's one of the most vital, yet most misunderstood nutrients for older adults. Technically, it's a hormone, not just a vitamin. And after 65, your body's natural ability to produce it declines sharply. Why? Because your skin becomes less efficient at converting sunlight into vitamin D. Add in more time spent indoors, regular sunscreen use, or simply living in a northern climate, and your levels can plummet without you even realizing it. The effects are serious. Low vitamin D3 has been tied to fatigue, weakened bones, poor immunity, muscle loss, and increased susceptibility to illness. But beyond that, there's a strong link between low D3 and some of the most common chronic conditions in seniors. A major 2020 review published in the British Medical Journal found that older adults with vitamin D deficiency faced a 50% higher risk of respiratory infections and a 30% greater risk of dying from all causes, including heart disease, diabetes, and certain cancers. Vitamin D3 plays a key role in how your immune system responds to threats. It helps activate immune cells, reduce inflammation, and repair tissues after illness or injury. Seniors with higher D3 levels don't just get sick less, they recover faster and more fully. It also plays a vital role in brain function. D3 supports memory, regulates mood, and has been linked to lower rates of depression and dementia. But most multivitamins simply don't include enough of it, and most seniors aren't getting the sun exposure needed to compensate. The recommended daily intake from food and sun is around 600 to 800 IUs, but most older adults require 1,000 to 2,000 IUs daily just to maintain healthy levels, and even more if you're deficient or it's winter. That's why supplementing with D3, specifically cholecalciferol, is so important. It's better absorbed and more active in the body than the D2 form. You'll find it in soft gels, liquids, and capsules. And for best absorption, always take it with food, preferably a meal that contains some fat. If you haven't had your vitamin D levels checked recently, ask your doctor. Low levels are easy to fix, and the difference it can make in how you feel, move, and think is massive. Up next is vitamin number 2. It fuels your brain, your red blood cells, and your nervous system, and many seniors are dangerously low in it, even if they're eating all the right foods. Vitamin B12. If you're over 65, there's a good chance your levels are lower than they should be, and you may not even know it. B12 is essential. It supports healthy nerves, helps form red blood cells, and plays a key role in brain function. But as you age, your ability to absorb B12 from food decreases significantly. The reason? Your stomach produces less acid as you get older, and that stomach acid is critical. It's what separates B12 from the protein in foods like meat, eggs, and dairy, so your body can absorb it. To make matters worse, common medications like antacids and metformin interfere with absorption even more. That means you can be eating a healthy diet and still slowly slipping into deficiency. The early signs are subtle: low energy, memory slips, tingling in the hands or feet. But if left unchecked, B12 deficiency can become serious. It's often mistaken for dementia or aging, when in reality it's something preventable and treatable. Low B12 can weaken your legs, impair your balance, and cause frequent falls. That's because your nerves begin to misfire. Many seniors assume it's arthritis or just old age, but sometimes it's simply a missing nutrient. The fix: stop relying on food alone. Once you're past 60, food sources aren't enough. You need supplemental B12 in a form that bypasses the stomach entirely. Look for methylcobalamin or cyanocobalamin. These versions can be absorbed directly through the lining of your mouth or intestines. They're available as sublingual tablets, lozenges, or even weekly injections if your deficiency is severe. Most seniors need between 500 to 1,000 micrograms daily to stay in a healthy range. And because it's water-soluble, your body simply flushes out what it doesn't use. If you haven't had your B12 levels tested recently, talk to your doctor. A simple blood test can reveal if your levels are low, and correcting it could transform your memory, energy, mood, and even your stability on your feet. When it comes to aging well, B12 isn't optional. It's essential. Coming up next is the #1 most important nutrient for seniors. It supports your brain, heart, joints, and immune system. And in one massive European study, it was linked to a 36% lower risk of death from all causes. Omega-3 fatty acids. Technically, not a vitamin, but for anyone over 65, they're one of the most critical nutrients you can take, especially EPA and DHA, the active forms found in fatty fish and fish oil. These healthy fats are essential to nearly every system in your body. They protect your brain, reduce inflammation, support joint health, and keep your heart rhythm steady. And the evidence is hard to ignore. A massive 2021 study published in the European Journal of Clinical Nutrition followed over 42,000 adults aged 60 and up. Those with the highest blood levels of omega-3s had a 36% lower risk of death from all causes. That's not just about living longer, it's about living better. Another major study published in Circulation showed that supplementing with omega-3s lowered the risk of fatal heart attacks in seniors by over 45%. That's an enormous difference, and a wake-up call for anyone not taking these seriously. Omega-3s help your brain function properly by supporting memory, cognitive clarity, and emotional balance. They also improve blood flow, reduce joint stiffness, and regulate inflammation, something every aging body struggles with. Yet despite all this, more than 2/3 of adults over 60 are deficient in omega-3s. Why? Because most people don't eat enough fatty fish. Salmon, sardines, mackerel, they're the best natural sources. But eating them a few times a month isn't enough. That's where high-quality fish oil supplements come in. Look for one that provides at least 1,000 milligrams of combined EPA and DHA per day. If you have heart disease, inflammation, or cognitive concerns, your doctor may recommend even more. And not all fish oils are created equal. Choose a product that's been tested for purity, free of heavy metals, and ideally in triglyceride form for better absorption. Always take it with a meal to help with digestion and prevent that fishy aftertaste. If you're vegan or allergic to fish, don't worry. There are excellent plant-based omega-3 supplements made from algae that deliver DHA directly. Omega-3s aren't just about preventing disease. They help you think sharper, move easier, sleep better, and age more gracefully. They literally make up the structure of your brain and help your cells communicate. And at this stage of life, that's not optional. It's essential. For anyone looking to stay active, focused, and resilient well into their later years, omega-3s are as close as it gets to nutritional insurance. They don't just extend your life. They improve the quality of every year you gain. You've now learned the truth about vitamins after 65. Some can quietly damage your health, while others could be the missing pieces that help you stay strong, mobile, and mentally sharp. So what's in your supplement cabinet right now? Drop a comment below and tell us which vitamin surprised you the most. If this video opened your eyes, tap the like button and subscribe for more science-backed health tips for smarter aging.